So literally right behind me here, just past these trees, is Louisville Lake. And right now I am in one of the most affordable lakeside living new construction communities in the entire DFW Metroplex, especially Dallas. There are very, very few communities that offer lakeside living, are actually affordable, and offer new construction, and this community checks all those boxes. In this video today, I'm gonna reveal what this neighborhood is that we're actually in and talk about everything you need to know about possibly living in this community so you can decide if this is the right fit for you. Hey, my name is Michael Caraway. I'm a realtor here in the Dallas, Texas area, and let's get to it. So we're here in July in Dallas, and it's supposed to be, 100-degree weather. We're supposed to be super hot right now this time of the year, but it's been beautiful the last few weeks. It's been surprising. It's cloudy, you know what? When you have that nice 80-degree cozy day in the heat of July in Dallas, you gotta bring your coffee along for the shoot and just enjoy it. So that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so the community that you're touring right now is Valencia on the lake. We're technically located in Little Elm, Texas, but this is absolutely does not feel like Little Elm, Texas, especially when you look out on the map. You can see that it actually feels more like Frisco. And so this is Little Elm technically, but a lot of the conveniences that you would use around here are gonna be Frisco. So we're gonna talk more about that later. It's funny now that I'm far away from the car, it starts raining. And there's literally a 1% chance of rain when I looked at it. Crazy, but hey, it's part of the deal here, I guess. So just over here beyond me, it looks probably pretty far away because of the lens on this camera, but this is a model home for Mattamy Homes. And they're a builder here in Valencia on the lake. One of 3 builders, actually. We're gonna tell you all that you need to know about the builders in this community as well, so stick around for that. But like I said, the fact that you can get new construction with lakeside living and be affordable is very, very unique about this community, but that's not the only pro about living in this community. We are gonna talk about all of the pros that you have to consider about living here right now, and later on in the video, we're gonna talk about the cons as well. So one of the first pros that I think is worth mentioning, now that we're actually on the path here, I think it's really relevant, is that the trails here in this community are awesome. I love them. I personally use them all the time. I live very close by. And one of the things that I really love about this particular area is that they're really nice wide trails. So great for whether you're a walker or a biker or you like to run. Nice wide trails, which I always love. But the trails actually work its way alongside the banks of Louisville Lake. So, as you can see right now, we can peek into the lake, especially as you get further up north on the neighborhood. You're starting to get a little bit closer to Louisville Lake and you have better views. So I really like that about this neighborhood is the trail system. You got plenty of trails in this neighborhood to keep you busy for sure. Now the obvious pro that we've already kind of mentioned is that this neighborhood sits on Louisville Lake. And so if you want those water views, it's definitely a great place for you because you actually have several lots that are still available in this neighborhood that have lake views. And even if you don't buy a house that has the lake view, you still have several places throughout the neighborhood that you're gonna be able to get those lake views if you're using the amenities or if you're out walking. And so if you just wanna be around water, this is a great neighborhood for you. So another pro that you should definitely be aware of in this neighborhood is just its location. Like I mentioned in the intro, we are basically in Frisco right now, but we have a Little Elm address. And so the part of Frisco that we are close to is the very northern side of Frisco, and it just so happens to be where all the development is happening right now. You have the PGA of America that moved their headquarters there and made a huge entertainment district. You've got 2 championship golf courses right there. You have Fields West coming in, which is gonna be a major shopping and entertainment district to the likes of Legacy West in Plano. And you have Universal Studios developing up here. So much happening within a 15-minute drive of this neighborhood. And so being in this neighborhood, it's nice because you get the Little Elm address, which typically comes with a little bit more affordable price tag, but you still get all of the amenities and access to Frisco that people are paying a lot of money for up this way. Now, one thing that's actually like a super underrated pro for this neighborhood is that it's very quiet. Now, obviously you have construction noise here right now, but beyond the construction noise, like once the construction noise goes away, you don't hear traffic at all. Which is definitely not the case for many new construction neighborhoods around this way. You have a lot of road noise in other neighborhoods. This one, it's nice because you're driving down a peninsula pretty far to be able to get to this neighborhood, which means you have lake all around you and only other residential properties around you. You're not getting commercial down this way. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place. If you're looking for privacy, if you're looking for just a more quiet place to live, this is an amazing place for you, and you're gonna be able to have a little bit more of a chill environment down here. Man, the rain's really starting to come down now. 1% chance, come on. But hey, we're gonna roll with it anyways. So this neighborhood is about 450 acres, and there's gonna be about 1,300 homes when it's all said and done. So when you're comparing that to other master plan communities in the area, it's definitely more on the smaller scale, which a lot of people love about that. But the thing that's also kind of nice is that even though the neighborhood is, 450 acres, which is pretty small for a neighborhood, it seems like a much bigger neighborhood, because if you look at the map, this whole entire peninsula that is in this area is developed, and it's all residential. And so neighborhood after neighborhood just kind of blend together, which makes this whole area just seem a lot bigger than what it actually is. And so that's nice that you're gonna get the best of both worlds. The community itself and the people that are using the amenities are definitely on the smaller side, but if you continue up the peninsula, it definitely feels like it's a bigger neighborhood. So you get the best of both worlds. All right, so we're gonna get right back into the video, but just want you to know that, I love making these videos, but what I love even more is helping people just like you make the move to and within the DFW Metroplex. So whether you are moving from out of state, or you're already here, or you have a house to sell, doesn't matter. I'm here to be your real estate advisor. So reach out to me, shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email anytime. I'm here to help you find the perfect place to call home here in the DFW Metro. So something else to know about this neighborhood is that you actually have a school that's going to be built within this neighborhood specifically. So you're going to have a Little Elm ISD school built, which a lot of people love having the convenience that comes along with having a school within the community, which a lot of people are appreciating that. It's less time in the car, which I think a lot of people are realizing is pretty important. And the other pro about this neighborhood in particular is gonna be that it's just affordable. Like compared to all these other fancy master plan communities that are growing up in a little bit more popular suburbs around town, you're just getting way more of a home in a better neighborhood compared to some of these other suburbs. And so that is a huge win, and we're gonna talk specifics about real estate and all the prices right now. All right, so let's talk about the real estate in Valencia on the lake. You have both resale homes and new construction homes available to purchase in this particular neighborhood. As far as builders go, you've got 3 great builders in this particular community. The first is going to be Beazer Homes, the second is going to be First Texas Homes, and the third is going to be Mattamy Homes. There's a lot of great pros and cons to all of these builders, and if you want help navigating those options, then definitely reach out to me. I'd be honored to help you. Now, as far as home prices in Valencia on the lake, you're gonna have a pretty wide-ranging price point, but definitely affordable compared to a lot of the Metroplex. On the low end, in the past 90 days, the lowest priced home that sold was $378,000, and that got you about 1,500 square feet. The highest home that sold was $737,000, and that got you about 3,900 square foot. The median sales price in this neighborhood was right around $565,000 over the past 90 days. So definitely a really affordable neighborhood, considering it is a lakeside neighborhood. Now, this particular community is not going to have as many amenities as a lot of the other ones that we tour, but there's still some really good things here. The first is going to be that they have a lakeside amenity center that has a fitness center and 2 swimming pools. You have a splash pad, you've got cabanas, you've got sand volleyball courts, tennis courts, a basketball court, hike and bike trails, a dog park, and over 80 acres of open green space. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you kind of knew where this neighborhood was located, as well as kind of what's around it, and why I think this is a really good location in terms of being in Little Elm. So just to kick things off, let's kind of map out where Valencia on the Lake is. And Valencia on the Lake is, if you're going along 423 right here, it's the major roadway that goes around here. You're actually going to exit right here on Rock Hill, and Rock Hill is going to take you all the way down into this little peninsula right here, and it'll get you to the very, very tip. And this whole area right here is going to be Valencia on the Lake. And so again, you can see this is literally right on the lake. Lake Louisville is right here, all around this little peninsula. And so that's a really awesome thing. It's one of the pros about living in this area is being down in this peninsula, because you're not getting traffic. Like if there's traffic in this area, it's because it's people that live there, or it's construction traffic. It's not people just passing by like what you'd get on a road like 423, for example. It's people that are trying to get into this neighborhood because they live there. There's nowhere else for them to go. So that's a huge plus. So let's go ahead and back out a little bit, just to give you a little bit more context as far as where this is located in proximity to some other areas. First, we're gonna just kind of map out, Frisco is this whole area right here, right? So Frisco makes up a huge portion up here, and you can see right over here, this whole area is Frisco. So again, where we just drove to get down in this neighborhood was Rock Hill. So you can see right now we're in Frisco, 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 and then we turn into Little Elm. And so Valencia on the Lake is Little Elm technically, right where this neighborhood starts. And so we're really close to Frisco and all the conveniences that Frisco has. We just have a Little Elm address. Like literally you have to drive through Frisco to get down to this neighborhood. It's the only way through. So you do have very close proximity to everything that's going on into Frisco, which I'm excited to talk a little bit more about that here in a second. But I want to make sure you kind of know it's in comparison to downtown Dallas, where Valencia on the Lake is. So I'm going to put it in the map here. And we're going to put this here. It says we're about 37.9 miles away, or 43-minute drive. Currently, we're at 8 p.m. right now. You can see it's not the closest to downtown Dallas, but still a reasonable commute to downtown Dallas. You can see it's literally just this small little stint right here that you've got to get off the peninsula and get on 423, work your way south, and then work over a little bit eastward to get on Dallas North Tollway. And then it's smooth sailing from Dallas North Tollway all the way into downtown Dallas. And so good proximity here. Just for some context too, you have Dallas Fort Worth Airport right over here. So again, you're probably looking at a 45-minute commute to get over there. And then Dallas Love Field, which is another airport, is right down here. So again, probably 45 minutes away from that. So really good area if you're just looking for, trying to get a little bit further away from Dallas, but still want to be within that 45-minute to an hour commute from both places. This is a good place for you. So let's go ahead and get a little bit further in here and really talk about this area that Valencia on the Lake is located in. So we have the neighborhood right here, over here, just for an example, or just for reference, is the neighborhood. Just over to the east a little bit, you're gonna have, can't figure out my directions today. You're gonna have a lot going on right outside the neighborhood. So again, 423 is right here. And all along 423, as far south as you can go, you're gonna have tons of, coffee shops, restaurants. You're gonna have different shops along here. Your grocery stores are all gonna be right here. In fact, literally right in this area right here, there's an H-E-B, which is everybody's favorite grocery store in Texas. You've got a Walmart going in, I believe, like right here. It's either this space or this space over here. I can't remember which one. But you're going to have those two grocery stores, and then literally across the street, over a little bit further north, is going to be a Kroger. There's a Kroger right here. So you have 3 grocery store options literally right outside your neighborhood, or will eventually have 3. Right now, you just have that one Kroger right over there. So lots of stuff going on as far as that goes. You have another major highway right here called 380. And 380 is going to be a very busy highway. The convenient part is that you don't have to rely on it. You can just go south on 423, which is nice. But you will find yourself on 380 at some point if you're living in this area, and just know you kind of got to be strategic on how you work your way around this area as a result, because traffic does get pretty heavy up there. But all along 380, right in this little section that I'm mapping out right here, you got plenty of different options. You've got Taco Bell, you've got a Dilla's Quesadilla shop, you've got the Local Open, which is a great restaurant and bar, you've got Birdie's Cafe, you've got Chipotle, Torchy's, you've got Chick-fil-A, all sorts of stuff in this area. So everything that you would need within a 10-minute commute from your neighborhood is just right out here. Things get a little bit more interesting here if you get a little bit further out. So again, just want to make sure we're always staying in context of the neighborhood. Your neighborhood is going to be right here in Valencia, and we are talking about commuting over here across Rock Hill and working our way over here to the new PGA development, which is right in this area. So let's zoom in a little bit over here, talk a little bit about this. I talk about this a little bit on almost every one of my videos, it seems, but PGA of America moved their headquarters to Frisco. They put in 2 championship level golf courses. They put in an Omni Resort as well, which has a bunch of great restaurants like the Apron right here, Trick Rider. In here is going to be a really cool area. This is probably where you'll find yourself the most if you're hanging out in this area. Right in this little area, you're going to have some shops and dining and stuff like that. You have the Ice House over here, which is a bar and restaurant. You've got a big just screen here that's going to, they put golf on all the time, or else on the weekends they're going to have different things like movie nights or things like that. And then you have over here, you've got the dance floor, which is, I believe it's like 90 some holes of just places to go putt around. You can go out and putt around on this for free. Anybody can go and do it. So it's a really cool area. They host all kinds of events like 4th of July and Easter and Christmas and all sorts of stuff in this area. So a lot of cool things there. But the thing that'll probably be more useful if you live in this area is just a little bit further east. This whole area right here is being developed like crazy right now. So you were going to have a lot going on here right now. Pretty much the only thing that's here is going to be this little movie theater right over here. But this is all going to be developed. They're putting like a hotel up here. They're putting a lot of corporate offices, things like that up here north of PGA Parkway. You're also to the south, you're going to see Frisco. They're putting in a Fields, it's called Fields West. And Fields West is going to be this massive entertainment district that has shopping and dining and entertainment all throughout here, similar to Legacy West in Plano. So really cool things going to go on right here. You could literally ride your bike over there, which is a really cool thing. That should be all developed here over the next few years or so. Right now, it's just they're just working on the dirt part of it. So lots to happen here over the next few years. And then obviously, if you're looking just for a little bit more context, want to make sure we point out that neighborhood. So your neighborhood would be right here. You have some other great areas within Frisco. Right over in this area, you're going to have the Rail District, Frisco Square, and the FC Dallas area. You have Frisco Library right here as well. So again, 20 minutes away. Then you have Stonebriar over here, which is the main mall in Frisco, as well as a ton of retail and dining options around that mall. And then the Star District is going to be right over, let's just zoom in here. I want to make sure I get this right. There we go. Star District is right over here. And the Star District is the Dallas Cowboys headquarters, but they also went in and made it more of an entertainment district. And so they've got a lot of dining and shopping in this little area as well. So wherever you're at here in Valencia on the lake, you're going to have a lot of good options near your neighborhood. So whenever my family and I are looking at, where we want to live and trying to figure out, the right neighborhood, the right suburb, all that kind of stuff. But by the way, we've done multiple times. We've made the move from Colorado down to Dallas, and then as well as several times we've moved within Dallas. The one thing that we always are looking at is school district. And, for us, we don't need to be part of the absolute best school. We don't need the most prestige. We don't need the perfect scores, because at the end of the day, from my perspective, scores are kind of just like influenced by things that maybe don't even matter to you. So My suggestion is always to, look deep into the scores, look deep into the rating system, understand why the schools are rated the way that they are. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit here about the school district this is part of, and then you need to go out and do some more research and make a judgment yourself. So this neighborhood in particular is part of Little Elm ISD. And if you looked at the Texas Education Agency, they rate all the schools. They gave Little Elm ISD a C rating. They did the overall score about 79 out of 100. So really not bad, not the best either, kind of middle of the line. Compared to some of the other suburbs around here, it is a little bit lower, but it's also higher than a lot of others. So make your own judgment on that, but it is something to at least consider. Listen, the other con that you need to consider about this neighborhood is that you do have to drive a little bit more just to get places. Like I said, we're at the very tip of this peninsula, and so you had to drive quite a bit just through residential areas to be able to get down into this neighborhood that we're in now. And so that is a con in the sense of you're gonna be spending a little bit more time in the car just to be able to get out of the neighborhood. I mean, you're probably looking at, 5-10 minutes just to get out of this little peninsula, and then whatever additional commute that you have to get where you need to go. So just something to consider. So don't get me wrong, I love Valencia on the lake, but I tour great communities like this all the time. And if you wanna make sure you don't miss out on any of those community tours so you can find out where you wanna live, then definitely subscribe to this channel. And also just know that I have this special playlist up here that is just specifically neighborhood tours that I've done. And so make sure to hit that, and you have a whole playlist of videos for you to watch as far as communities around us. Now let's get back to it. The other con that you're gonna have with this neighborhood in particular is that the bugs are gonna be a little bit worse down here because you're close to water. That's one thing I've consistently noticed as we continue to bring more and more clients down here and look at homes. They do realize that mosquitoes are pretty bad here in the summer. One of the things that we've noticed is, they'll kind of hang out by the door and try to get inside. So you have to be careful to shoo them away before you open up doors. And it's something you gotta consider. It's not a deal breaker from my perspective, but it may involve a little bit more treatment around the house to make sure that those mosquitoes stay away. Really the only other con that I can think of for this neighborhood is gonna be that you're not gonna get a more modern house here. They're gonna tend to lean a little bit more traditional. Like you can see behind me here, it's a very beautiful house. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love how this house looks. I think it looks really good, but it is definitely more traditional. You have more of that brick and stone combination. And so it's just not as modern as some of these other places, like a Windsong Ranch, for example, where there's some builders that are definitely leaning a little bit more modern, or at least modern traditional, if that's a thing. But that's just something you have to consider as well. So it appears that my nice, cool, cozy Texas summer day has disappeared, as I've now started to sweat, and it's getting a little muggy and hot now. So that's part of this whole journey, I guess. This has been a very, very weird video. We've gotten to experience a little bit of everything as far as what Texas weather brings. So if after watching this video, maybe you're not feeling this particular neighborhood, but you still like the idea of new construction, I'm actually gonna give you a list of a few other neighborhoods to consider. Even if you like this neighborhood, but you just want a few options, this could be helpful for you. So we're gonna get to that in just a second. But if you are planning to move within the DFW Metro, or you're planning on moving from out of state to the Dallas, Texas area, then reach out to me. I'd love to help you buy a home here in the DFW Metroplex and be your advisor through that entire process. My family and I have been through it many times, and now I get the honor to help people just like you. So shoot me a text, give me a call, send me an email anytime. Now, a few other neighborhoods in the area that I would consider that have similar price points are gonna be Sandbrook Ranch, Union Park, Wild Ridge, and Trinity Falls. And if you want to see another great neighborhood tour, then check out this video right here.